Welcome back to the unseen world, where we investigate the enigmas that surpass our comprehension. In today's episode, we will examine the most inexplicable phenomena of 2024. Get ready for a mind blowing experience as we traverse the strange, the bizarre, and the utterly mysterious. Let's dive in. First on our list is the baffling case of the disappearing village of Skagway in Alaska. On the morning of January 14, 2024, residents of nearby towns reported seeing a dense fog enveloping Skagway. When the fog lifted, the entire village had vanished without a trace. Investigations revealed no signs of an earthquake, landslide, or any other natural disaster. The question remains, how can an entire village simply disappear? Next, we travel to the remote wilderness of Siberia, where locals have reported hearing a mysterious, low frequency hum. This phenomenon, now dubbed the Siberian sound, have baffled scientists and residents alike. Despite extensive research, no one has been able to pinpoint the source of the sound. Could it be a natural geological event, a secret government project, or something even more otherworldly? In March 2024, the skies over Phoenix, Arizona lit up once again with unexplained lights. Reminiscent of the infamous Phoenix lights of 1997. Thousands of residents captured footage of the event, showing a series of bright, hovering orbs that moved in a coordinated pattern. Despite the military's claim of routine exercises, many believe this to be definitive proof of extraterrestrial activity.
It's getting closer and closer, and we're saying, that thing's coming right at us.
Tim Lee and his family are among the hundreds of witnesses who've come forward to talk about the night of March 13th, an event now known as the Phoenix Lights. The Lees first saw the lights while looking north from their home in the Sunny Slope Mountains.
When it finally got here and we realized this thing was coming right over us, we really started getting antsy, and then when it went directly overhead without a sound, it was like that. It was so big.
You couldn't even hear the wind. It was so quiet. It just didn't even do anything. It just came through.
These images of what they saw are made on a computer. They're a combination of digital photos of the landscape taken by Lee and computer drawings of the objects his family saw in the sky.
It was a giant V, all right? And the right side of the V went over us. The left side was like a couple blocks over it.
You just didn't know what to do. It was just like, my God, how big is this thing? It didn't seem threatening because when it was right overhead and we couldn't hear a sound, it was like you're just awestruck.
Jim Delatoso has been researching UFOs for 20 years. Right now, he's in the middle of putting together a virtual reality model of what happened that night. He's talked to hundreds of witnesses about the night of March 13th, including the Lees.
He said if he had a tennis ball, he could have hit it. He could have thrown a tennis ball at it. It was that close.
It was very close. It just could have nailed it.
I consider Tim Lee and his family to be very reliable and very important in the data that they've given us because they were so close that they could look up and, as they said, almost touch it.
The last light went right over my wife and I, and there was no light on the ground. But I could see up inside that it was almost like a recess, and it had fluorescent like light inside, like a gas light of some kind.
You could see right through the middle of it, but it was like looking through two-way glass, like through a mirage that you see on the highway or something, or just when it's real hot. Right there you can see through, but there was no light coming back or anything like that. It was just really weird.
This is the first time in the series of reports of that night that someone said that they looked up and saw a structured object.
As it went over, it went straight like through this V right there, over that guy's house.
It took about 15 minutes to get from when we first saw it all the way
but we couldn't saw it.
No one knows for sure what happened that night in the skies over Arizona in March, but thousands of people saw something. It's a night the Lees will never forget.
We just re-experience it every time we tell it. You know, it's like it was just yesterday. You know, we've just never seen anything like it.
I was always a very polite skeptic. I would never tell someone, if they told me they saw something, I would never say, you're a liar or anything like that, because I don't know. But now I don't know what to think, because this is impossible.
Wiltshire, England has long been known as a hotspot for crop circles. But 2024 brought some of the most intricate and mysterious designs ever seen. These new formations are not only larger and more complex, but also appear overnight without any signs of human intervention. Are these messages from an alien civilization, natural phenomena, or an elaborate hoax?
Another one. Those are fairly simple circles. Some of them become, though, very intricate and very geometric. Are the most common like that, Lucy, just sort of round?
Those were the early ones. They were very simple to start with, and then it seems as though they've evolved over the years and got more and more complex and more geometric.
But the world thought, and I did, that when those two landscape fellows came forward and said, okay, we did it, was a joke, that was the end of it all.
I know, that's what I think they wanted you to think, and indeed, people believe whatever they want to believe, but these things happen all over the world, and very often they're happening on the same night. So you'd have to be members of some sort of jet club, you know, literally
some
fly.
secret crop circle making society.
Absolutely.
But these fellas, is that true, could not replicate this? They were given the opportunity to make one in broad daylight and didn't?
There was a hoaxing competition where people were asked to try and do these things, and they couldn't do them. They couldn't do them properly. And another man came and he said, not these two, because they were about 60 years old. And
Our final phenomenon takes us to the vast Atlantic Ocean, where a ghost ship was discovered drifting aimlessly. The ship, identified as the SS Baichumo, was thought to have been lost in the Arctic in 1931. Incredibly, it reappeared in 2024, completely intact but devoid of any crew. How did this vessel survive for nearly a century in some of the world's harshest conditions? As the video concludes, we ponder the enigmas of the unseen world and the boundless possibilities beyond our comprehension. We urge viewers to maintain an open mind and persist in exploring the unexplained phenomena that envelop us. The world teems with mysteries that challenge our understanding and spark our imagination. From disappearing villages and mysterious sounds to unexplained lights, crop circles, and ghost ships, these phenomena remind us of how much remains to be discovered. What are your thoughts on these mysteries? Share your ideas in the comments below. Thank you for joining us on this journey into the unseen world. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to stay updated with more fascinating content from the unseen world. Until next time, stay curious.